very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my listeners. The waiting is over. Yes, we have a lovely guest with us, none other than Pollie Rafferty. A very warm welcome to you, Pollie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Here is a small introduction. Everyone knows about you, but still, let me read it out. Pollie, Pollie Rafferty is a dynamic storytelling coach and community builder, renowned for empowering business owners and speakers to share their messages with unwavering confidence and clarity. Her transformative journey, starting from the overcoming anxiety to leading story circles and pioneering narrative therapy, has made her a unique guide in the art of impactful storytelling. Audiences will be captivated by her wisdom, resilience, and innovative approach to community that she has built. Today, we have got Polly with us. Once again, thank you, Polly. Thank you so much for being with us.
No, I'm more
Well,
than happy.
home is yours. Please tell me something about yourself before I start my questions. Come on, please.
Well, I'm based in England. I'm at the southeast coast of Sussex, just down the road from Brighton. So I moved here 18 years ago from Birmingham. That's where I'm originally from, with my husband and my now two kids. I discovered storytelling way back in 2005 when I was overcoming anxiety that had me trapped in my own home. So I couldn't even go out into the back garden. The anxieties were just way too high. It just wasn't possible. So I was lucky enough to have some friends who dragged me out. And it was then on one occasion where I was stuck in a rather dark and dingy pub in Birmingham, hiding behind my mate, as I normally did, because I was still really anxious. And I saw this storyteller and she just blew me away. She was absolutely beautiful. Her hair was cascaded down her shoulders, and she just took us away on a journey with her words to another place. And the whole room quietened. Even the barkeeper stopped chinking glasses and clearing up or anything. Nobody went up and ordered a drink. Everybody was riveted. And to me, prior to that, storytelling had been for children. It'd been something that you do at nursery or at school or something like that. It wasn't anything that adults did. So just one sec. And this was an adult story, and it took us all. It was eye-opening in a way. And I saw her a few more times, and that was when I thought, I really want to do this. So I asked her, and she gave me some hints and tips, sent me on my way, and I did a training course. And started telling stories, my own stories that I'd written or traditional stories. And it just moved from there, really. I was encouraged by an open mic night owner
Great.
who ran the open mic night. And that was it then. It was just one step after another.
Wow. Wonderful. What a beautiful journey. But please tell me, you are a coach. You deal with the business people. When did the first spark ignited and you thought of shifting to this wonderful world?
2019, just before COVID.
Mhm,
Well, just
mhm,
before COVID, I wanted to start sharing my own personal stories to help people
mhm.
navigate life today, because life is so much different to how it was when fairy tales and those sort of myths and legends were formed. So I wanted to get out there and share my stories. I've had a lot of adventures in my 50 years. I've survived with undiagnosed autism and ADHD. I've been in a abusive relationship. I've suffered with financial problems. I've been made homeless. So there's all of these things that I've faced and overcome. So I wanted to get out into the world and start sharing those stories with people that might be suffering a similar experience. But then COVID hit and we got all locked down. So I went online to see if I could figure out a way of doing it. And that's where I came across working within the business arena and how it impacted people when they're speaking, when they're selling, when they're trying to just get on with um, the everyday within the business. And that's also when I started training with narrative therapy and learned all about narrative therapy and how the internal stories can affect you and make things harder to progress. So that's when the whole storytelling in business, storytelling and speaking, and all of that came about. So about 5 years now.
Okay, but as you said that being a coach and dealing with the business people, well, coaching is one side, business is one side. Please tell how this storytelling has worked upon you in your personal life.
In my well, I've been doing it for a very long time. I did it before I even
Mhm,
realized it was a thing. But basically what happens is we all have underlying stories. We've
mhm,
grown up with them. They're social stories, they're familial stories from our family. We're given stories from other people. So it's recognizing those stories, understanding where they come from, and challenging those negative stories that are causing you pain. So, for instance, I stopped driving because my story was that I was a bad driver because my boyfriend told me I was a bad driver. And then I started to notice all the bad things I did. I was still a fairly new driver at the time, so I did quite a few bad things. Like I'd stall at lights, or I'd struggle to park, or I'd overtake someone in the wrong way, or everything like that. Then I'd store that in my brain and build up that
mhm.
storyline that I was a bad driver. But when I moved down here, I needed to drive because public transport isn't as good. So I had to start driving. So I had to start changing that story within me that I wasn't a bad driver, that I was actually a competent driver. And then it changed to a good driver. So I noticed all the positive things that I did, all the correct maneuvers I did. I still noticed the negative ones, but they weren't as important because the reticulator activated system, or the RAS system, kicks in when you're aware of something. So you start to notice it more. So I noticed more and more the good things that I did and how well I drove. And now I drive all over the country. So we could
Mhm.
change stories, but stories that we've had from childhood take a lot longer to change. Like nobody wants to listen to me, nobody's interested in what I've got to say. The social stories that say that, we've got to be quiet, these are harder to tackle and take longer to overcome. So that's how I coach people. I help them overcome those stories, and
Right.
find the stories that keep them going as well, because business is hard, but
Good.
we've all got a
Well,
why. We've all got that.
so Polly, I'm wondering, your story has got your own history and your background, where a businesses is to be dealt with profit, loss, quality, quantity, this, that, and all. How you blend your story with the business or entrepreneurs?
Stories run on business the same as everything else.
Mhm.
All If you look, all of the really effective businesses have got stories behind them. Apple, for instance, they don't sell computers.
Then, can you please give one example, live example, which you think that this is the story, this is the situation in business, and this is how it worked? What would you say?
Could you repeat that for me, please?
Can you please give an elaborate one example, please?
Yeah. Apple, they sell connection. So with
Hmm.
the and they sell to a different person. You've got computers, you've got Apple or you've got Mac, you've got your Android people or your Apple people, and the Apple people have bought in completely to the Apple story. Apple sell They don't just sell the product, they sell a story behind the product, which makes people really connect and really become loyal to that product.
Right.
Sell
So,
connection.
So how you relate this example with any budding entrepreneur?
Because with especially in today's market, people want to know what you can do for them. So when you share the story, it's not your story, it's their story. So you start to where they want to be, and you tell that through a story. So you've seen, if you've seen Star Wars, Yoda, everybody knows Yoda. You're the Yoda in their story. So you're the one that's teaching them and moving them forward. So when you're selling a business, when you're selling a product, they want to see where it's going to get them. They
Right.
want to know if they're hungry, they're going to buy a sandwich, but which sandwich, the one that they prefer. So if you're the one that they prefer out of all of the other people out there, because they resonate with your story.
Yeah. I think there is a disturbance in internet, or you already stopped talking. Are you able to listen me?
I can hear you still, yeah.
Good. Beautiful. Fine. Okay. Well, yes, you told so many things about this entrepreneur stories. Okay. Wow. I really liked all those examples. Well, Polly, can you please tell? Suppose I am a small businessman and I'm really worried because an entrepreneur has to deal with everything: marketing, production, inventory, finance, everything. How do you start a story to boost my moral? Are you there? Hello. Hello.
I do apologise. I think my internet went down.
Yeah, correct. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Technology is
Good that
amazing.
you have
Without
come.
technology, we wouldn't be talking, but it can be problematical sometimes,
Good,
can't
good,
it?
good, good that you have come. What I
Yeah.
was saying, Polly, is suppose I am a small entrepreneur and I am struggling with my own business. I have to deal with finance, I have to deal with production, I have to deal with staff, this, that, and all.
Mm.
So, to boost my moral, if I come and meet you and ask for a suggestion, how do you start with a story that will boost my moral?
Okay. So you find your why story. Why are you doing it?
Mm-hmm,
What is it that drives you? So my why
mm-hmm,
story is because at one point in my life I felt completely awful. I was suicidal. I felt my self-esteem was really, really low. I felt completely alone, and I don't want anybody to ever feel like that. So
mm-hmm.
that is my why. That is what keeps me getting up in the morning and going, oh, I've got to keep going. I've got to keep plugging at it. And you share that why story with your staff,
Wow.
with your staff, with your colleagues,
Mm-hmm.
because then they sort of resonate more. They're not just going to a job. They're dealing with a movement. They're helping support something bigger than themselves. It's not just I've got to go to work and I've got to do this. This is how some of the
Oh, again, the internet is froze.
oh no, sorry, I don't know whether
Mhm.
it's me.
It's
um
it's okay.
um
Okay. So
so
with this background, what as you said, can you please recall one example that you gave story to one of the entrepreneur where that was needed badly and he could make change in his business or in his career or in his life. Can you
Yeah,
recall one of the examples? Please go ahead.
yeah. I worked with somebody who does dog first aid, dog first aid,
Hmm.
trains people to administer first aid. And we work together. And since we've worked together, she's been top in the industry for a number of years within her. It's sort of like a franchise that she runs. That she owns the franchise of this business, and she's been top within that for a number of years. I've had a lot of people who have said that they wanted to give up until they'd worked with me, and they realised that there was actually a reason for them doing what they were doing, and they've kept going and they've kept going. So it's a lot about self-awareness and self-drive and because you've got to put the work in if you want to get the results. So, and to do that, you need to change the story that you're telling yourself, because a lot of the time your story that you're telling yourself is, oh, this isn't working, this isn't going anywhere. I've had people change direction, they've changed their own mindset. They've tried, I hate saying mindset because it's not mindset, it's more than that. It's deeper than just that's just a keyword that people like to throw around everywhere. It gives you the drive to carry on and to do it. There's a quote, is it Ford? Henry Ford said, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't, or you're right. So it's all about changing that. So there's been people that have worked with me that have changed their direction. They've become more confident in their business. They've become more confident speaking about their business, which has in return had an effect on how people view them and how many people come and work with them.
Oh, well, these are the success stories that you told, and it has helped. Now, one question came to my mind. I remember when I was a school going child, a teacher told a story, and the students took different meaning. So, when you told stories, one of your client who is a budding entrepreneur, what happens when he or she takes it or in a different direction, or he is not able to understand it properly and he misunderstands? Have you?
Yeah, that's the difference between traditional storytelling and business storytelling.
Mhm, mhm,
One of the differences with traditional storytelling, you let the audience, the person that's hearing the story, make their own decisions, make their own assumptions, or make their own, recognize what they need from that story. When you're telling a story in business, you tell the reason why you're telling the story. It's more like a fable. So at the end of it, you give them why that story is relevant, because then it guides their recognition in what you're trying to tell them. So that's a big difference, and a lot of people don't
right,
see that within business.
right. So, how do you increase or motivate those people, especially who are already gone down?
How do I increase the people that have gone
Correct.
and they don't understand the story? I make sure they know why I'm telling the story, what I'm telling
Hmm.
the story for, and
Hmm.
just double check in with them. So you explain the reason why you've told the story. I've got a story about, I mean, most stories are real life stories. I do still tell a couple of traditional stories. Like I've got a story that I tell about an owl trapped in a barn, and the barn gets burnt down because of fear, because everybody fears the big, they think it's a monster that's in the barn. So they burn down the barn and uh, end up burning up all of their grain for the coming winter. So I then finished the story by saying fear can override our logic, it can override what we're thinking. We listen to other people too much. We don't go in and have a look around the barn ourselves to see that it's just an owl. These things can escalate and become hysteria if everybody listens to the same story. So I explain it in detail, and then I'll ask, what did you make of that story? And see what other people come through, and we'll talk about that sometimes as well. So it's making sure that people that are listening to the story, if you're telling it for a reason, know the reason why you're telling it within the business world. It's a nice story. People that are doing storytelling, they're just there for the entertainment factor. They're there for the entertainment.
Right.
And within business, it's an educational factor.
Okay. Polly, I have got so many questions to be asked, and each and every reply that you have given really takes me to few other questions. Lovely. I love the conversation that you made and the way you described. That was really marvelous. Well, let me take my journey in a different gear. Now, this is known as the rapid fire question session, where I'll be asking you the question for which you need to answer in the shortest possible way, maybe with one word or one sentence. Are you ready? So, here
Yeah.
is the first question for you as a rapid fire question. Wally, what's your favorite fairy tale or the teaching story? What is the heading of that? What is it?
I don't actually know the proper heading of it, but my favorite story that I tell is an adult story, and it's from the 1001 Nights Arabian Tales, and it's about a woman who has
Oh,
two.
good. Wow. Can you give one word that describes your storytelling style? What is that?
Unique.
Oh, yes, I agree with you. I have gone through your web page, I have gone through your details, and I feel proud to announce that yes, you are unique. Yes, I'm proud of you. Very nice. Wow. Well, Polly, can you name or recall one book or the resource that has deeply influenced you? What is that?
Oh, The Lord of No Time
Hmm?
by Louise Cooper.
Okay, okay. Well, can you recall your most unforgettable moment, especially on the stage or in front of a client?
My most what moment, sorry?
Unforgettable moment on the stage or in front of a client.
It's got to be the first time I stepped onto a stage. It was
Hmm?
just that moment I realised I could re-own my anxiety that had me trapped in the home, and I could channel it into
Great.
something better.
Oh, nice. Polly, can you recall the biggest lesson that you learned from your childhood, which has got relation with your storytelling? What is that?
Biggest lesson from childhood. To keep going.
Keep going. Please repeat it again. Keep going, keep
Just
going, keep
keep
going.
going.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, lovely. And you being a storytelling expert who has already not only motivated, but literally helped, supported, and guided so many entrepreneurs and the business tycoons. Please tell, who is your storytelling role model? Who's he or she?
My role model for storytelling is Catrice Horsley. She was the
Mhm.
storytelling laureate of the UK a number of years ago now, but she's the first storyteller I ever saw, and she just blew me away.
Okay, well, can you give one suggestion or one tip to have overcoming fear on the stage?
Um, the one tip that I've got is it is a valid fear of speaking in public, and it goes way back to our caveman era or our small community era, because if we spoke out, we could get kicked out, and that would be a death sentence.
Oh,
If
great.
we speak out
Right.
now, we're not going to be kicked out. So if you remember
Wow.
that, it really helps.
Fine. Can you recall one incident that inspired you?
I'm inspired every day by
Oh, nice. Nice.
people living their lives. Everybody inspires me because they just get up every morning and get on with it and do what the best they can.
Well, Polly, you have heard so many stories, you have met so many storytelling people, you have got your own experience too. So, based on that, if you could change one thing about how stories are told today, what would it be?
That there's more of them, that people
Mhm.
feel more comfortable sharing their stories.
Very correct. Yes, the listener must feel comfortable. Very correct. Beautiful. Wow. And here is the last question, and that is, what would be your best advice to a person who is a budding storyteller?
To tell from the scar, not from the
Mhm.
wound, not from the scab. So make sure that the story that they're telling, if it's a personal story, they've completely healed from, because you can be emotionally attached to it, but not emotionally affected by it. So you're not there to trauma dump on your audience. You're there to help them overcome what you've overcome. So you need to be fully healed from that story.
Correct. Wow. And can you please give one advice to those budding entrepreneurs or business people or even to general public who want to change their life or get motivated through storytelling? What it would be?
Okay. Find where you want to be, because we wouldn't set out on a journey without knowing the destination or the route.
Mhm.
So once you know the destination, you can write the route. So write yourself a story set in the future, but written in the present tense, and just keep telling yourself that story, because that story will help you become the person you need to be.
Exactly. That story will help you to become what type of person you want to be. Yes, Pori, I have got so many other questions to be asked, but the time do not permit me. Let me, on behalf of this wonderful platform, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your incredible journey and the wisdom on the transformative power of storytelling. Your insights remind us how the stories can foster true connection, uplift communities, and spark the lasting change. We are inspired to craft our own narratives with confidence and clarity, building a legacy of hope. To everyone who are listening or who would be listening, please go share your story and listen to Polly's storytelling way. At the same time, visit her site because your voice has the power to connect. I'm telling you, Polly, your voice has the power to connect,
Mhm.
teach, and elevate others. So, wherever you are, please, on behalf of this platform, I, along with my staff, pray God sincerely to give you all power, wisdom, strength, time, money, and everything to spread the message that you are as on today spreading, especially for the budding entrepreneurs. Lovely. I love the talk that you had. Finally, would you like to give one last suggestion that you would like to tell it to the budding entrepreneurs, especially?
Have fun, um, and don't do it alone. There's lots of support out there. There's lots of help. So
Very
ask.
correct. It's half.
Yeah.
It's never fulfilled unless and until there is a support from the opposite side. One can do nothing. Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Well, I have got a one more small request. As and when we have this type of program, and for your information, this GST platform has got wonderful community and number of other programs. Please visit our site, go through them, please connect with us and see that we remain as a family and we keep on meeting and interact with each other now and then. Once again, a namaste to you. Thank you so much for being on our platform. Thank you so much, Polly. It was wonderful session. I loved it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Together we are global speakers talk.